Hello guys, what is up? In this tutorial, we are going to talk about while loop in Python. So first, let's talk about what loops really are. Let's see an example. Let's say you went into a kitchen and you found a lot of dirty dishes. So now you decided to wash all the dishes. You took your first dish, washed it, dried it and put it away. Then you took the second dish, washed it, dried it and put it away. You performed this task repeatedly until there were no more dishes left. Here, your condition was to perform the same task until no more dishes were left. So this condition, you were continuously washing and drying dishes. Once you completed the task, you stopped the repetition. That is exactly what a loop really is. In programming, we use loops to tell the computer to do something repeatedly. Instead of dishes, we might be dealing with numbers, words, or any other data. A loop is a programming command that tells a computer to repeat a certain action over and over again until a specific condition is met. It is like giving the computer a set of instructions and saying, "Do this until I tell you to stop." You tell the computer through instructions. Loops are of two types in Python. The first one is the while loop and the other one is the for loop. In this video, we are going to talk about while loop. The while loop is used when you don't know the exact number of iterations beforehand, but you have a condition to check. Let's consider the same example of dishes. Before cleaning them, you don't know exactly how many dishes there are or how many repetitions you will have to do. But you have a condition, and the condition is that you have to perform repetition until no more dishes are left. This is exactly how the while loop works. You have a condition, but you don't know how many repetitions will be performed. So let's see how to write a code for the while loop. To write code for the while loop, we first use the while keyword, which shows that we are going to initiate a while loop. Then we write a condition. The condition is an expression that evaluates to true or false. The loop continues as long as the condition is true. Then we use the colon, which indicates the start of the loop body. Within the loop body, we write a task or code that will be executed repeatedly as long as the condition is true. So let's write a code for the while loop. Here I want to write a code that prints the numbers from 0 to 5. This code will print 0 and then add 1 to it. Then it will print 1 and add 1 to it. So it will do this repeatedly until it reaches the condition which is equals to 5. For this, I am creating a variable to store the numbers starting from 0. I am creating a variable named as count and storing 0 in it. Now let's create a loop. To use while loop, we simply write while, indicating that we are going to use a while loop. Right after it, we write a condition. The condition is that count should be less than or equal to 5. This means that once result reaches 5, our loop will stop running because the condition will be false. Until the count is less than 5, the condition will be true. Now we use the colon, indicating that the body of the loop starts here. Within the body, I first print the count. So here I am typing print and then using fstring, writing count is and then calling our variable count. It will continuously print the count variable until the condition will be false. On a new line, I am writing count plus equal to 1. This code will add 1 to the count variable on each repetition. Overall, in this code, we first created a variable count which stores the value 0. Then we created a while loop where we defined that the value of count should be less than or equal to 5. Then we printed the value of count and then we added 1 to the count variable. When we run this code, it will first check the condition. If the condition is true, then it will print the value of count and add a number to the count variable. The loop will do this repeatedly until the condition becomes false. Let's run this code and here you can see the output. Now let's write another code where instead of numbers we will be printing stars. In this code, we will print 1 star in the first line and then our code will add a star in each line. This means that there will be a total of 5 rows. In the first row, there will be a 1 star and in the second row, there will be 2 stars and they will keep increasing until the 5th row. For this, I first have to create a variable to define the number of rows. Here I am creating a variable named rows and I am defining the number of rows as 5. Now let's create another variable named row and within it I am storing the value of 1. This variable will tell the program how many stars to print on each row. Let's say I want to print 1 star in the first row, so I define it as 1. Now let's write the while loop code. The first thing we do is to define the while loop by writing while. And then we write the condition. I am writing the condition that rows should be less than or equal to rows, which means that loop will continue to run as long as the value of row is less than or equal to rows, which is 5. Once row become greater than 5, the loop will stop. Now let's write the body part. Within it, I first print the stars. For this, I am writing print star sign and then multiplying star with row. Currently, row holds the value of 1. So when we multiply 1 with the star, the output will be 1 star. When we multiply 2 with the star, the output will be 2 stars. Similarly, when we multiply 5 with a star, the output will be 5 stars. Now let's use the increment operator. For this, I am writing row plus equals to 1. So on each iteration, our loop will add 1 to the row variable. Overall, in this code, we created two variables, rows and row. The rows variable defines the total number of rows, while the row variable defines the total number of stars in one row. Later, we write the condition that rows should be less than or equal to rows, which means that when rows equals to 5, the code will stop execution. Then we print the stars by multiplying them with row. At the end, we use the increment operator with the row variable so that it keep increasing on each iteration. Now let's run this code and here you can see the output. For the first iteration, we get 1 star. For the second iteration, we get 2 stars. And for the fifth, we get 5 stars. Now let's talk about pass, break and continue statements. These statements are control flow statements used primarily within loop to modify their behavior. So let's start with break statement. The break statement exits the loop entirely. It is often used when a specific condition is met and you want to exit the loop prematurely. So let's see it practically. Here I am writing code to print numbers from 1 to 5 using a while loop. So here I am creating a variable named I and storing the value of 0 in it. Now let's use the while loop, writing a condition that I should be less than 5. Let's use the increment operator with I by writing I plus equals 1. Now let's print I using print I. So overall this code will print the numbers from 1 to 5. But let's use a condition within the body of the loop. For the condition, I am writing if I equals 3 and then within the body of the if statement, I am using the break statement. What the break statement will do is exit the loop once the value of I is 3. In the first iteration, the loop will check the condition and then add 1 to I. Then it checks the condition of the if statement, which will be false in the first iteration, and then it will print I. But when the loop reaches the third iteration and the value of I is 3, the condition of the if statement will be true. At the third iteration, even before printing the value, the break statement will exit the loop. Now let's run this code and here you can see the output is 1 and 2. Because when I reaches at 3, the break statement exits the loop. Now let's discuss the continue statement. The continue statement skips the rest of the code inside the current loop iteration and moves to next iteration of the loop. It is useful for skipping certain part of the loop based on a condition. Instead of break, I am writing continue. What the continue statement will do is start continuing from 1 to 5. When count reaches at 3, the continue statement tells the computer to skip the rest of the code in this round. Meaning that when I reaches 3, it will skip printing 3 and moves to 4. Let's run this code, and here you can see the output where continue statement skips the 3. Now let's see the pass statement. The pass statement does nothing. It is used to create a code block that will be filled later. Let's first use it in the while loop. Instead of continuing, I am writing pass. The pass statement will do nothing. Let's run the code, and here you can see the output that the pass statement did nothing. But this does not mean that the pass statement is not useful, because in programming, if anything is created, it must have some purpose. Through pass, we can create a code block that will be filled later. For example, if I type if I equals to 4 and then run this code, it gives us an error like you can see on the output screen, because there is nothing in the body of the code. So if I want to fill the code later, I can simply type pass here. It will do nothing but helps us to avoid an error. Now let's run this code, and here you can see the output without any error. Now let's talk about infinite while loop. And infinite while loop means that the condition would always remain true. Let's see it practically. Here I am using the while loop, and at the condition part I am typing true. This means that the condition would always remain true. Now within the body I am typing print. This is an infinite loop. This code will continuously print the statement and will always remain true. Let's run this code, and here you can see the output. It is continuously printing the statement. So I am stopping the whole program because the infinite loop will never end. But infinite loop is very useful when we use the break statement. Let's say I am writing a code where I will take an input from the user. If the input is a number, then our code will stop. If the input is text or text with a number, it will ask the user to input a valid number. For this, I am creating an infinite loop by typing while true, and then I am taking user input by creating a variable named user input, and using the input function writing a message to enter a number. Let's use if-else statement to identify whether the input is a number or text. For this, I am typing if user input dot is digit. The isDigit function will identify whether the data stored in user input is numeric or not. If it is numeric, it will run the body of the if statement. In the body of if statement, I am typing print you entered user input. Right after the print statement, I am using the break statement by typing break. Once the input is numeric, the break statement will exit the loop. Now I am using the else statement by typing else, and within the body I am typing invalid input. Please enter the number. Overall, this code will identify whether the input is numeric or not. The infinite while loop will continuously run the code until it gets a numeric input. If the input is numeric, the break statement will exit the loop. Now let's run the code. Here you can see on the output screen where it is asking to input a number. Let's say I am writing my name, Danyal, and pressing enter. Here you can see that it says the input is invalid. Now let's enter another input. Here I am typing 1, 2 and 3 and pressing enter. Here you can see that the loop is exited. This is how the infinite while loop is very useful. Now let's create a number guessing game. In this game, we will ask a user to guess a number between 1 and 10 in 3 attempts. If the user successfully guessed the number, we will display congratulations. Otherwise, we will display better luck next time. For this, we will use the random module, which will generate a random numbers between 1 and 10. So I am typing import random, and then I am creating a variable where we will store a random number. I am typing secret number and using the random module accessing the radian function. The radian function will generate a random number, and within the function I am defining the range as 1 to 10. Let's print the secret number by typing print secret number and run it. You can see that it has generated a secret number. Now let's remove the print statement for now. The user will have 3 attempts, so I am creating a variable named attempt and storing 3 in it. Now let's use the while loop by typing while attempt greater than 0. Once the value of attempt reaches 0, the loop will stop running. We'll use the decrement operator inside the loop because the value of attempt is 3, and on each iteration we'll subtract 1 from it, and after 3 attempts it will reach at 0. Within the body, we'll first take the input from the user to guess a number. I am creating a variable named guess, typing int because we need the input in integers form, and using the input function typing guess the number between 1 and 10. Now we have input, so let's use the if statement. If the user guessed the correct number, we'll show the congratulations and break the loop. I am typing if guess equals to secret number and then printing congratulations, you have guessed the correct number. Then using the break statement by typing break. But if the user guesses a wrong number, our code will go to else. Within else, we will use a decrement operator where on each wrong guess, the attempt will decrease. Within the else part, we will have another if-else statement. The purpose of the if-else statement is to check whether the user still have an attempt left or not. If the user has an attempt, it will show a try again message. If the user does not have any attempt left, the else part will show better luck next time. So here I am typing else and then using the decrement operator by typing attempt minus equal to 1. Then I am using a nested if statement by typing if attempt greater than 0. And then within the body I am printing print try again. You have and calling the attempt variable and then writing attempts left. But if the user has no input left, the else part will be executed. So I am typing else and then within the body I am typing print sorry you have run out of attempt. Better luck next time. Then using another print statement to show the secret number and I am typing print the secret number was and then calling the secret number variable. Overall for this code, first the secret number is randomly generated using random.readend and defining the range between 1 to 10. This means that computer will pick a number between 1 and 10 for us to guess. Next, the player starts with 3 attempts to guess the correct number. Then the code enters a while loop that continues until the player either guesses the number correctly or run out of attempts. And the player will input the guess which we capture using the input function. Then if the player's guess matches the secret number, a congratulatory message is printed and the loop exits. And if the guess is incorrect, the number of attempts decreases by 1. The player is informed of the remaining attempts so they know how many more tries they have left. And at the end, if the player run out of attempts, a message is printing indicated they have run out of attempts, along with revealing the secret number. So now let's run this code and here it asks me to input a number. So I am inputting 4 and I guessed a wrong number. Let's try again and I am inputting the number 6. Oh, still it is wrong. Let's try for the last time. I am inputting 10. Oh, I think I have a bad luck. So here it shows us the secret number. So this is how we can create a random number guessing game. So that's it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, then do subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you keep receiving programming videos. We have already created a Python programming playlist where you can find all the videos in series. So do check it out. The link is in the description.